Picture this. Your parents have passed away, and suddenly you're locked in a heated battle with your siblings over the family home, savings accounts, or even family heirlooms. What started as grief turns into resentment, court battles, and fractured relationships. Fighting over inheritance is more common than people realize, affecting countless families across Ohio and beyond. Whether you're planning your estate or dealing with a dispute right now, understanding these dynamics can help spare your family unnecessary pain. I'm an Ohio estate planning attorney. For more than 40 years, I've helped families navigate these exact situations. I've seen firsthand how a well-crafted will can prevent inheritance fights before they ever start. Inheritance disputes usually don't start with money alone. They're fueled by emotions, finances, and misunderstandings. Grief amplifies tension, turning small disagreements into full-blown family feuds. One common trigger is unequal distributions. Parents may leave more to one child based on need, such as a disability, or less to a child who's financially stable. Even when there's a reason, it can feel unfair and spark accusations of favoritism. Another major factor is blended families and step-siblings. Second marriages often complicate inheritance, especially if a will hasn't been updated. Stepchildren may feel excluded, and that can lead to disputes. Undue influence or manipulation is another frequent concern. If one sibling pressures an aging parent to change a will, others may question whether those changes were truly voluntary. Then there are valuables and heirlooms. Items like jewelry, family homes, or keepsakes often cause more conflict than cash because they're tied to memories and emotions. Finally, pre-death gifts can create resentment. If one sibling received financial help earlier in life, like money for a down payment, others may expect adjustments later. In Ohio, these issues can be made worse when assets aren't clearly planned for, which can lead to court involvement and long delays. When someone dies without a will, the law, not the family, decides what happens next. In Ohio, intestate succession rules determine how assets are distributed. If there's a spouse and no children, the spouse inherits everything. If children are involved, the spouse receives a set amount plus a portion of the remaining estate. If there's no spouse, assets are divided among children or other relatives. This kind of equal distribution doesn't account for individual circumstances. A family business or farm may be sold off when some heirs wanted to keep it. These outcomes often lead directly to inheritance disputes. Without a will or trust, probate can stretch on for months and cost families thousands. The best way to avoid fighting over inheritance is planning ahead. That starts with drafting a clear will or trust that spells out who receives what and who is in charge of carrying out those wishes. Choosing a neutral executor, rather than a family member, can help avoid accusations of bias. Plans should be updated regularly, especially after major life changes like marriages, divorces, births, or deaths. It's also important to address the difference between fair and equal. Explaining why assets aren't divided evenly can reduce resentment later. Advanced directives, like living wills, help avoid conflicts over healthcare decisions, and thoughtful planning around taxes and debts ensures more of the estate goes to loved ones instead of fees. If a dispute does arise, it doesn't have to destroy the family. Mediation can help siblings talk through disagreements with a neutral third party and often costs far less than litigation. Some families turn to probate court challenges, especially when there are concerns about undue influence or capacity. Others benefit from family counseling, addressing emotional issues before legal ones. In many cases, an attorney can help negotiate a resolution that avoids prolonged conflict. I've seen disputes involving hundreds of thousands of dollars resolved peacefully once communication and documentation were brought into the process. Equal inheritance isn't always fair. One child may have sacrificed time and income to care for aging parents. Another may have special needs requiring long-term support. Blended families may need careful balancing to avoid resentment. Fighting over inheritance doesn't have to tear families apart. By understanding common pitfalls and prioritizing clear estate planning, you can ensure your legacy brings unity, not division. If you're facing a dispute or want to safeguard your assets, schedule a free consultation today. Protect what matters most, your family's peace.